You start the spell. You've prepared your space. You've gathered your tools. You've lit the candle. You've spoken your intention clearly. You're feeling connected. You feel that spark of magic that's building. And then you finish. You close your ritual, you snuff out the candle, or you just let it burn down, and you're feeling hopeful in the moment. But then this little voice appears. Did I do it right? Was my intention strong enough? Did I use the right herbs? Why didn't I feel anything? And before you know it, you're not questioning the spell anymore. You're questioning yourself. Maybe my magic isn't strong enough. Maybe I'm no good at magic. Maybe I'm not a powerful witch. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. But what if none of that is true? What if your magic was never the problem? What if something deeper has been quietly affecting your confidence, your connection, and your ability to trust in your own power? And that something has a name. I call it the witch wound. My name is Sandra. I'm the author of Crafting Your Wiccan Path, and I've been practicing witchcraft for over 35 years. And throughout my journey, I've discovered that one of the biggest challenges witches face isn't learning more spells or new magical techniques or collecting more tools. It's learning to trust themselves. Because your relationship with magic isn't just about what you do at your altar. It's also about what you believe about yourself. And this is something I've seen again and again in my own practice with shadow work and in teaching hundreds of students who are trying to reconnect with their own power. So today we're going to explore the 5 signs that the witch wound may be affecting your practice and how you can bring healing to those beliefs that are keeping you second guessing yourself. Now, the first sign that the witch wound may be affecting your practice is this. You second guess your spells the moment you finish them. You start the spell with intention, you're feeling connected, you feel that moment where everything just seems to come together. Your energy, your intention, your tools, your words. Then you finish, the candle burns down, and the ritual is complete. But instead of trusting what you've just created, your mind starts searching for everything that could have gone wrong. Did I say the words correctly? Did I choose the right timing? Did I feel it enough? Should I have used another herb? Maybe I should have waited for the full moon, or maybe someone else would have done it better. Now, there's nothing wrong with learning and growing in your practice. Discernment is a very important part of witchcraft, but there's a difference between healthy reflection and constantly questioning whether you have done the thing correctly, whether you're capable. Because underneath those questions is often a much deeper belief, and that is, I can't trust myself, or I'm not good enough. And this is where the witch wound can show up for you. It creates the feeling that your power must always be validated by something or someone outside of yourself. A certain book, a certain teacher, a certain tradition, a certain person telling you that you are doing it correctly. But your magic is not created by perfection. Your magic is created through your connection, your intention, your relationship with the energies that you're working with. The more you doubt yourself, the more you're disconnecting from that relationship. And the goal isn't to become someone who never learns or questions. The goal is to become somebody who can learn and grow while still trusting their own inner knowing. The second sign is that you shrink your practice when other people might see you or hear you. Maybe you have a beautiful altar, but you put everything away when family or friends come around. I've had to do that at times myself. Maybe you wait until the house is empty before you light the candles and pull the cards or spend time with your practice. Maybe you avoid telling people that you're a witch because you worry about how they might react. And I want to be very clear here. Being private about your spirituality is not the same as hiding because you feel ashamed. There are many reasons a witch needs to choose privacy, even in this modern day and age. Your safety matters, your circumstances do matter. Not everybody lives in a place where you can feel comfortable expressing that you are a witch and being totally open about your beliefs. But there is a difference between choosing privacy from a place of wisdom and choosing invisibility because some part of you believes that I shouldn't be seen, or I need to hide this part of me. I need to make myself smaller. That is where the witch wound begins to take hold. Because throughout history, many people with spiritual gifts, intuitive abilities, and connections to the unseen were taught that being powerful came with consequences, and it did. So somewhere along the way, many of us learned, stay quiet, don't draw attention, don't let people know who you really are. But your power doesn't disappear because you're being private. You can still have a private, powerful practice. You can be a witch who doesn't announce to the world that you are one and still deeply honor who you are. Healing the witch wound isn't about forcing yourself to be visible as a witch. It's about no longer believing that you have to hide from yourself. And if you're recognizing yourself in these first two signs, I want you to know that there is nothing wrong with you. And you are not the only person who is experiencing these things or feels this way. So many people come to the witchcraft path feeling drawn, but becoming overwhelmed because there's just so much information out there. So many different traditions, tools, practices, and opinions about what or shouldn't be done, or what you should or shouldn't do. And instead of feeling connected to your magic, you can end up feeling more confused than when you started. That's why I created a free class called Start Your Witchcraft Practice Without Overwhelm. This class is designed to help you create a strong foundation for your witchcraft practice without feeling like you need to know everything before you actually begin. You'll find the link to that masterclass in the description field below this video. You can also find it on my website, mysterywitchschool.com, under my freebies tab. Now, the third sign is one I see so often. You feel like you need permission to call yourself a witch. Maybe you've thought, I haven't been practicing long enough. I don't know enough yet. I haven't read enough books. I haven't studied the right traditions. I haven't been initiated into a coven. And learning is a beautiful part of the witchcraft path. We are always learning. Even after 35 years of practice, I'm still learning. I'm still exploring and deepening my relationship with the magic. But there's a difference between being a lifelong student and constantly believing that you're not enough, or that what you know isn't enough. The witch wound often creates this endless search for permission from outside of yourself. You keep waiting for the moment when you'll finally feel qualified, when you finally know enough, when you finally feel like a real witch. But that moment never seems to come, because the wound isn't asking you to grow. It's asking you to stay uncertain. It's asking you to keep looking outside of yourself for the thing that can only come from within. So the question I want you to sit with is this: what would change if I stopped waiting for permission to be who I already am? What if being a witch isn't something you have to earn? What if it's something you deepen into? Your practice grows because you show up. Your connection grows because you nurture it. Your confidence grows because you trust yourself enough to begin. And that trust is one of the most powerful things you can reclaim. The fourth sign that the witch wound may be affecting your practice is that you find it much easier to believe in everyone else's magic than your own. You see another witch sharing their experiences and you think, wow, they're so gifted. They're really connected. I wish I could do that. But then something meaningful happens in your own practice and your first response is, it was probably just a coincidence. I'm imagining it. It couldn't have been my spell. And isn't it interesting how easily we can recognize the power in other people while dismissing our own? The witch wound teaches us to doubt ourselves first. It tells us that everyone else is more intuitive, they're more experienced, they're more powerful, they're more connected, they get their spells right every time, things work always. But if you constantly dismiss your own experiences, how can your confidence ever grow? Confidence doesn't come from collecting proof that you're a witch. It comes from allowing yourself to acknowledge the moments that have worked for you, the moments that have already been happening, the answers, the synchronicities, the intuition, the quiet moments where something deep inside you simply knows. But the witch wound wants you to dismiss these moments. Healing begins when you stop explaining away your own magic. Now, if you've been feeling called to deepen your witchcraft practice, but you're still feeling uncertain about where to begin, I want to invite you to join the Mystery Witch School 101 Academy. This is my 12-month beginner-friendly program and journey into witchcraft, where I guide you step by step through building your own magical practice. From the foundations of energy work, guided meditations, rituals, tools, working with deities, to develop your confidence and connection with your own path. You don't need to know everything before you begin. You simply need the desire to learn and the willingness to explore and a structure to learn and explore within, so that you don't have to try and figure it out all by yourself from books and online. This is a sure way to a consistent practice that brings meaning and purpose into your life. And if you already have a witchcraft practice, but you find yourself struggling with consistency, with making time to connect, reflecting, honoring your path each day, then you may love the Daily Threshold app. It was created to help witches create a simple daily practice that keeps them connected to their magic, their intuition, and their spiritual path. So whether you're just beginning your journey or you're looking for a way to deepen your practice, there is something to support you. The links to the Mystery Witch School 101 Academy and the Daily Threshold app are in the description field below this video, and you can also find them on my website, mysterywitchschool.com. Now, the fifth sign is that you're constantly waiting until you're ready before you truly commit to your path. You tell yourself, I'll start practicing properly once I've read a few more books, or I'll create an altar once I have the perfect space. I'll work with Hecate when I know more. I'll call myself a witch when I finally feel confident. The problem is, confidence rarely comes before action. Confidence grows because we practice, because we keep showing up, because we continue to build a relationship with our craft. The witch wound wants you to believe that one day you'll wake up feeling completely ready, that suddenly you'll know enough, that you'll finally feel worthy. But that day keeps moving further and further away, because the wound isn't trying to prepare you. It's trying to keep you safe by keeping you waiting. And waiting feels safe to your nervous system. It feels productive, but it keeps you standing at the edge of your own power instead of stepping into it. So the truth is, you don't become a confident witch before you begin. You become a confident witch because you actually did begin. So let's bring this all together. If you've recognized yourself in one or two or maybe even all 5 of these signs, I want you to remember this. There's nothing wrong with your magic. There's nothing wrong with your ability to connect. And there's nothing wrong with you. The witch wound has a way of making us believe that we have to earn our power, prove our worth, or wait for someone else to tell us that we're ready. But your power has never been something you need permission to actually have. It's something you've always carried with you. The work isn't about becoming a more powerful witch. The work is about moving the fears, the doubts, and the old beliefs that have convinced you that you aren't one already, or that you shouldn't even be one to begin with. So the next time you light a candle, the next time you sit at your altar, the next time you cast a spell, and that little voice starts whispering, did I do it right? I'm not good enough. Maybe my magic isn't strong enough. I'm hopeless at magic. Pause for a moment and ask yourself a different question. Is this really my magic speaking to me? Is this really my higher self speaking to me? Or is this an old wound? Because those are 2 very different things. Your magic doesn't need fixing. It needs trusting. And every time you choose to trust yourself, every time you choose to honor your intuition, every time you show up for your practice, even when the doubt is present, you take another step towards becoming that confident, powerful witch that you're always meant to be and always were. So if this video resonated with you, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you've experienced any of these witch wounds, or you have noticed any of these signs. I'd love to know. And I'm sure there's other people who love to read the comments who want to know they're not alone. They're not the only ones who are experiencing this kind of thing. And I will see you in the next video. Blessed be.